All right, now we are going to be talking about the 9th's family. And of course, there are 9 family members. There's 1/9, 2/9, 3/9. It's getting harder to draw. 4/9, 5/9, 6/9, 7/9, 8/9, and of course there's me, 9/9, which is not a proper fraction because Mr. Awesomeness is number 1. 9 divided by 9 is 1. And then we multiply this by 1 or move the decimal, make 2 butt cheeks to the right, which 1, where's the decimal? Right here. Move it twice, and that would equal 100%. So that leaves 8 family members. Now we need to ask ourselves, what family members that we have done so far can go into the 9s? And there's only one, the 3rds. And the only 3rds there's 1/3 and 2/3. Can you pick out 1/3? It's right here. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then there's 2/3. Can you pick it out? It's 6/9. 6 divided by 2 is 3. I'm sorry. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. That will give you 2/3. Now the reason that I am not writing it and showing you like I have in the other ones is that the 9ths are just as easy as the 10ths. What is the rule for the 3rds? The 3rds family. They repeat. Well, since the 3rds are the only one that goes into the 9ths, guess what the 9ths family do? They repeat as well. But this is a lot. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, oh man, I cannot spell. Let's erase that. And okay. Let's try that again. Sorry about that. They repeat. Okay. But the trick is this. Very simple. Whatever the numerator is, you make it repeat. 9 can't go into 1, but you put a 10. 9 goes into 10 one time. But you don't have to do that. Just know whatever the numerator is, that's what it's going to be. I'm going to bring the calculator up real quick just to show you. 1 divided by 9 equals all those ones repeating. 2/9. Well, just take the numerator. What's the numerator? It's 2. So it's going to be 2/10 repeating. 3/3, 3/9 I mean, which is really 1/3, but it doesn't matter. What is 1/3? You still can use the same rule. Whatever the numerator is, that's what it is repeating. Same thing with 4/9. 9 can't go into 4, but 9 can go into 44 times. And guess what? It's going to repeat. Again, I'll do 4/9. 4 divided by 9 equals. See, the 4s are repeating. And then you have The numerator's 5, so that makes it 5/10 repeating. 6/9, which is really 2/3, but what is 2/3 as a decimal? 2/3 is the numerator repeating, which is 6/10 repeating. 7/9, you have a 7 in the numerator, so that makes it 7/10 repeating. Let me do that one again. Let's try that again. 7/10 repeating. You have an 8. Oops, forgot the repeating sign. You have an 8 in the numerator, so that makes it 8/10 repeating. Pretty easy, isn't it? To make it a decimal. I'll bring the calculator here. 8 divided by 9 equals 8888888. Don't forget they're rounding that one because on a calculator it cannot go on forever. Bad news is that in order to make this into a percent, that all of these will have 3 forms. So you're going to have a rounded form. So if I don't forget, these are repeating. So if I move the decimal twice, there's not a 0 here, but a 1, a 1, a 1, a 1. So now you have 11 and 1/10. I'll just do it over here. You have this all the way, and so you move the butt cheeks twice. Now you have 11 and 1/10. This one tells the 1 in the ones place to stay the same. So you have 11% rounded. If you move the butt cheeks twice again as a fraction percent, you will still have 11. And what fraction tells the 1 to repeat? Well, that is 1/9%. And how do you write this as a decimal percent? 11. What's 1/9 as a decimal? 1/10 repeating percent. Pretty easy, isn't it? All right, so the 2's are repeating. If I move the butt cheeks to the right twice or multiply it by 100, you get a 22 and 2/10. The 2 in the 10th place tells the 2 in the 1's place to stay the same. So we have 22% rounded. What is it as a fraction percent? 22 and 2/9% as a fraction percent. And what is 2/9 as a decimal? Well, that would be a decimal percent. 22 and 2/10 repeating percent. Now I'm going to skip 1/3. And I'll tell you why in a second. Now you have the 4's repeating. So you move the decimal twice, you get 44 and 4/10 repeating. The 4 in the 10th place tells the 4 in the 1's place to stay the same. So you have 44% rounded. Now, move the decimal twice and make it a fraction percent. Well, what fraction tells the 4 to repeat? And that would be 4/9%. And what is it as a decimal percent? Well, 44. And what's 4/9 as the decimal? 4/10 repeating percent. Now, we're at the 5's. Don't forget what 5's do. So we have the 5's repeating, but if we move it twice, we have 55 and 5/10. The 5 in the 10th place tells the 5 in the 1's place to go up 1. So that would be 56%. What is it as a fraction percent? Well, move the butt cheeks right 2 times, you get a 55. What fraction tells the 5's to repeat? Well, that would be 5/9%. And as a decimal, it would be 55 and 5/10 repeating percent. Now we're going to skip this one as well. We're going to go to 7 tenths repeating. If I move the butt cheeks to the right or multiply by 100, you get 77 and 7/10. The 7 in the tenths place tells the 7 in the ones place to go up. So now you have a 78%. Rounded. As a fraction percent, you will have 77. And what fraction tells the 7 to repeat? Well, that would be 7/9% as a fraction percent. And as a decimal percent, you will have a 77. And what is 7/9 as a decimal? And it's 7/10 repeating percent. And then we move to the eighths. Move the butt cheeks twice, you get 88 and 8/10. The 8 in the tenths place tells the 8 in the ones place to go up. So we get an 89% rounded. As a fraction percent, we have 88 and the fraction 8/9%. And then we have 88 and 8/10 repeating percent as a decimal percent. Now the reason I skipped 1/3 and 6/10 repeating is that we already had this. As you know, this is 33% rounded. This is 33. Now you got to be careful here because it's not 3/9. Because 3/9 reduces down to 1/3. So it has to be 1/3%. That's the only tricky part. A lot of people want to put 3/9, but it can be 3/9 is not in its simplest terms. And then you have 33 and 3/10 repeating percent. The same goes with 2/3 or 6/9. You have 67% rounded, but now you have 66, not 6/9, but 2/3. Let's try that one again. 2/3% as a fraction percent. And of course, the decimal is 6/10 repeating percent. And just remember, to go from a fraction to a decimal, the trick is, since the 9ths, the thirds go into it, the 9ths repeat as well. Just take the numerator and make it repeat. That's the simplest way for the 9ths. I hope you learned something, and I'm out of here.